Why hello everyone, welcome back. My name's Abigail, I do wedding cakes and I am from London. Today is a caking diary and I am taking you with me for a stunner of a wedding. I will show you the wedding a little bit later on in the video, but it was an incredible setup. But this does come with a price. This was absolutely one of the most hardest setups I feel like collectively the team has done. And when I say team, I mean the actual people that put together the wedding. I think a lot of people found it very challenging, but it was so worth it. So I'm just going in and doweling the cake. I do need to do a video on what it is and how it is to dowel a cake. But I always love to do a center dowel. Now, call me controversial, but I center dowel I don't send it down to the ball, so I don't stick it down. It's really just to keep the top tiers together and make sure they're nice and stable. So I'm just cleaning off the board because it always gets dirty with ganache. So I want to clean that off because it's a little bit of a faff to clean it at the wedding venue. I'm also wrapping away some stems that I painted in some just colour meal, and I just diluted it down with some rejuvenated spirit, and I got some Italian bleach ruscus, and then I've just painted it down. So I wear gloves just so I don't have the fingerprints on the cake, and you will see that there is some ganache that went missing. This is a carrot cake, my absolute favorite. I love a bit of spiced carrot sponge, but this is no pressure. This is also one of the reasons why I like kind of half doing the cake before I get to the wedding, because I can just go in and just do all of like the touch-ups without any time constraints. So I've just gone in with a huge amount of ganache. Now this is a carrot sponge, which is a lot more softer, so I also want to make sure that I'm having the most amount of stability around this cake. Now you will see me constantly use these. I love these scrapers, the Flexi scrapers from Lizzie Lou, and I am just peeling back the layers of ganache because you don't want to have too much ganache on, because it's going to be so much harder to scrape away. Now with this, I go in and I'm doing kind of like a firm pressure, and then I just do a little bit of a lighter pressure. The lighter pressure takes away all of like the little lines that you'll get, because you do want it to be immaculate and smooth. Bear in mind, I've already doweled this cake. I always dowel when I trim off the tops, and I am just now going to be filling in that seam. I have a reel about filling in the seams, so you can have a look, or a short video, and it's just like a fail-safe way of how I can fill in the seams. Filling the seams just makes sure that it's just all the more like clean and proper. Now I actually only do this just before the wedding. I used to do it like the night before, let it settle, but I do it just before the wedding because I can just put them on top, because I do it pretty quickly, and then just pop it in the box, as you will see in a little bit. Now this week I've actually had 2 weddings this week. I had one just the day before, and this is my second wedding. And guys, guess what? Coming closer. I actually have a Saturday, which is crazy. That's probably gonna be my last Saturday for a good a good 9 weeks. I think I haven't checked, but I do have back-to-back until like end of October, which is fine. This is what I love doing, right? So if you don't know by now, I genuinely love my job so much. It's just such a blessing. I grew up thinking that I could probably run my own business and live off of it when I'm like 45 maybe, but I've just been so blessed to do this pretty way earlier than I expected. So now we've done an outfit change. I promise you it's the same day, but I always, as I said before, I wear black because if you're in black, people think that you are actually a part of the wedding. So I'm going in with my Boxicure boxes, which are just my go-to, and I do this very last minute because I don't want to have the cake sitting around. The drive up to the venue is so important. I feel like venues do this on purpose. I feel like for the really grand venues, you have this stunning drive up to the venue, and this is at North Mymms Park in Hertfordshire. Hello everyone, good afternoon. This is a little bit of a different wedding day vlog. I'm actually at North Mymms Park, and I am just trying to find where they're having their dinner. So normally they have their wedding breakfast in the pavilion, which is this really beautiful tent, but I think they're going to be having it in the main house, which has never really happened before. So I'm going to try and go to see where it's coming from. I have their schedule, but I'm trying to find the team for where they are. So I'm going to go on a wild goose hunt to see where they're having their food. But the cake is all there, it's in the back, the flowers are there, the wafer paper is there. So let's try and see if we can find where they're having their dinner, because normally they have it in here, but sometimes couples switch it up and that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find where they're having their food, and it's also started to rain as well. Don't know if you can see, it's also started to rain, which is fine, but we don't have our raincoat. We have a fleece, we don't have the raincoat. So yeah, let's go. So North Mymms Park is a beautiful, beautiful wedding venue. There are so many stunning rooms to get married in and to have the ceremony in. I will take you on a tour because I do have a good amount of time to kill before the wedding starts. And can you just see the grounds? This is the life of a cake decorator. I'm out of breath. That's my heart rate. My heart rate's 152. I am just lugging the cakes up and down the stairs. The stairs, like span up and down. Normally there's a lift, but there's no lift on this one, but it's okay. Upstairs looks beautiful. The family just waiting to, can I breathe? The family waiting to arrive, so I'm gonna head down now. So you would see that this setup was a little bit different and a little bit all over the place. Now this wedding actually was the first wedding to ever do a wedding, I suppose, breakfast in this part of the manor house. It is normally held in the pavilion, which I will explain a little bit later, but now you can see why. The ceilings, the wall tapestries, the chandeliers, it is incredible, and I'm so excited to show you guys what the actual room looks like. Now, as you would remember, I've stacked the two tiers together. The catering team was behind me, Mel's Mills, and her team were behind me because they were just figuring out logistics. There was no lift, and there's also a little bit different of a setup, but the guests would have had no idea. They would have no idea. But I think this video just showcases just the so many moving parts on the day. I had to trim out so many different shots because it just included so many different people inside it. It just never takes one person to run a wedding smoothly together. Now, I am going in with doing the ganache to fasten the wafer paper sails to the cake. I'm gonna let you on a secret. Now, when I was doing the cake, I didn't love it. Okay, this is a little short interlude because I need you to step away from the cake, but can we just take it in? Can we just take it in? When I was doing the cake, I didn't love it. And then some wafer paper cells actually fell off. And then I was like, oh, I actually prefer it with less. So I did a cascade and added in some flowers to match the color scheme of the wedding. They had whites, blues, pinks. And because it's blues, you're very limited because you want to make sure that it's nice and safe to eat. Then the florist came in and framed the cake table perfectly. I'm just like in awe of this setup. It's just stunning, absolutely stunning. So we're reporting live. I feel like that is like the new phrase. It is very loud, as you can probably hear, because it's the drinks reception now. They have a stringed quartet. There's three. I think they're all, if someone correct me, which you can probably hear, it sounds incredible. The room looks insane. Now, this is a little bit different and a little bit difficult because there's no lifts and it's upstairs, and they never have done a reception up here. But when I tell you, it looks amazing. It looks so, so good. So now it's just the time for finishing touches. They had a stage so the stringed instrument can play. So I'm all done. I'm gonna head to the other place. The amazing thing about this wedding venue is it has loads of different locations. I'm gonna head over to the pavilion. Apparently that's where like the after party is. And if this design is gonna be insane, this is gonna be even madder. Is that the right word? It's been a long day. Anyway, I'm gonna head off and let's go with me. So this is what I love about working at like very similar wedding venues. At North Mymms Park, I'm actually recommended supply here, and it's so much easier when you are working at like basically the same venues every year. And I mean, let's walk and talk. So it's so much easier when it's like back to back with the same wedding venues, because you know like the little kind of shortcuts around. The thing is, this venue is huge. The lands are incredibly huge, and make sure that you're using like the best of the grounds. And the planner Gabby, I've worked with her a good couple of times. She is amazing. She had the idea of having the wedding over there in like the main house, and in the pavilion having like the after party. So I think it's such a good idea because weddings are basically an experience for your guests to have. Let's walk and talk. Weddings are an experience for your guests to have. You want them to kind of move around your wedding, especially if you are paying for the entire grounds. You want to make the best use out of it. You would have seen in there, it looks amazing. Let me just flip the camera around so I can show you what I'm actually seeing, because it's stunning. So as I mentioned before, this was like the after party space, and it wasn't even done, but it looked this good. This little photo booth was by far my favorite. All done for the wedding. Thank you so much for coming along with me. Let's stand here because the sunlight is stellar. Thank you so much for coming with me on the day, because it was a fun day of setup. Very interesting, but it's so worth it. Like, when a planner has a vision, it's just so much more worth it. So hopefully see you on the next one. Oh wait, I'll see you next week. Bye guys.